Well, hello friends. Welcome back to OS Hacking. It's again too warm for webcam today, so let's get right into it. Today we're going to work on the file manager, and it's going to be about the desktop mode that we run in to render icons on the desktop. Because the thing is, when I built the desktop version of File Manager originally, I did not share a lot of code with the regular file manager mode. They're still in the same executable, but they just kind of go down very different paths. So today we're going to try to bring those paths together by sharing code. So currently, what we have here in File Manager is this widget here that shows the contents of the directory. It's called a directory view. And directory view is a bit special because it has 3 different view modes. So it can be an icon view, a table view, or a columns view. And it has one public interface, and then it switches between those representations, basically. And on the desktop here, this is just an icon view, so it only has this thing. But my thinking is that we will make the desktop mode use the directory view, because then we'll get all kinds of things from directory view, like context menus and like selection, copy selected items, things like that. And then we don't have to implement those separately for the desktop, because currently there are no context menus on these items. There's a context menu on the desktop itself. But yeah, so that's what we'll be doing today. So let's go and take a look at File Manager main. So the way that this works here is that in main, in the File Manager app, we look for the -- desktop command line argument, and if it's present, then we call it run in desktop mode, and then like this is where main continues basically. Otherwise, we run in windowed mode. So these are the two continuations of the main function, basically. So you take one of these 2 paths. Let's see how we're going to do this. I guess we still want to have run in desktop mode as a thing, because we still need to create a desktop window and set that up and everything. But I guess here, instead of setting up an icon view, what we'll do is we'll set up a directory view. So we'll do that first, and then we'll see what breaks, and then I guess we'll just iterate from then on. So directory view, and then immediately we notice that there are a bunch of things here we can't do, because directory view is it's a stack widget, which is a libgui helper widget that allows you to stack widgets on top of each other, and then it has an API to like bring a specific widget to the front of the stack or top of the stack, so it becomes the visible one and the one you interact with. And that's how we swap between those 3 representations. But because it's a stack view, it doesn't have frame properties. So these were relevant for the icon view, but they're not relevant now. So I'm thinking we'll probably want to have something like directory view desktop mode, because we don't want to have a frame rendered. Let me just comment these out. We'll see what it looks like if we don't touch anything here. And directory view will create a file system model, so we can just skip that. And I think we don't need to implement activation handling, because directory view should do that, I think. Yeah. And really, like all of these actions, like create directory, create file, all of this stuff should really be in directory view. So does directory view have this kind of stuff? McDear, create. How do we create directory? I guess that's an action that we create here in the windowed mode as well. Okay. So maybe actions should move to the directory view as well, instead of being here in run windowed mode, because that means that they're not available to us. So, okay, so I think we're gonna have to push this onto, push state onto the yak stack and move actions into directory view maybe. Or alternatively, we don't push on the yak stack and instead we just remove functionality here and then we bring it back slowly. Do we have create new file action in the directory view? Oh yeah, we do. Okay, so these are just complete duplicates for the desktop mode. The show in file manager action is unique to the desktop, of course, because if you're in the regular windowed mode, then you're already in the file manager, so it makes less sense. So I think this one, we'll put like a little F0 around that. Likewise with the bring up display settings. Context menu stuff, yeah. We'll get to all of this stuff. Okay. Let's see if we can just get this thing building and running. Okay, cool. So here is our directory view now showing the desktop, and since we didn't specify a directory, I guess it just opened the root directory. But if we double click, we can actually navigate the desktop. I'm not sure that's a useful feature. It seems really goofy, but it is a bit fun. And oh, we cannot open them. Something's wrong with that. Well, we'll figure that out when we get there. So we probably want to turn off a couple of things. Like we don't want it to be able to navigate. We don't want the background to be white. And I don't know if you noticed, but there is a frame outline here. Let me bring up Magnus so I can show it to you. You see there's a little bit of a frame here, 2 pixels. So we should get rid of that as well. Oh, and there's a scroll bar over here that looks particularly silly. So let's get rid of that as well. Okay, so for that, for all of those things, let's add a mode to the directory view. So we have view mode, which selects the representation type. I'm thinking we'll just have like a mode, something like this, mode, desktop, window, something like that. Or maybe mode normal, even. And then when you construct a directory view, we'll ask you to provide a mode. And let's store that. I'm sure that will be useful. At least I suspect it will be. So mode A, mode. Okay, there we are. So, what immediately can be pruned in desktop mode? Like, we only need the icon view in desktop because you don't want columns view or table view desktop. That would just be weird. So, I think we can just skip setting those up in desktop mode. Maybe we should even move this out of the constructor because this is a pretty chunky constructor here. So we can do something like setup icon view, set columns view, set up table view, something like that. And if mode is not mode desktop, then we'll set those up as well. Something like that. Okay, I think that would be pretty nice. So icon view, oopsie doopsie. view, okay. And then these, we're just gonna move code around here. This is kind of a standalone change, but it will be nice regardless. So the icon view, everything related to the icon view, we'll just yoink it and put it down here instead. Yeah, this is pretty repetitive code. There might be a better way to do these things. It's just a little bit unobvious to me how to deal with all of these hook callbacks in a nice way. Basically, we have to install the same hook callbacks on each view and just do the same thing. So anyway. Then we will take all of the columns view things. We can also streamline here a little bit. Just a master class in text editing right here. All right. And finally, das table view. Oh, I forgot a columns view drop callback. Well, that revealed itself. So there we go, and that's pretty sweet. I guess we can do model setup somewhere as well, so we can just have like setup model, because why not? Wow, this is getting so tidy. Okay, and then let's see if it still works. It's always good to verify. Okay, so now we are constructing without passing a type or a mode. So mode desktop in this case, and mode normal in this case. Okay, so desktop looks reasonable. We still have the ability to switch types of view here. Looking good. Okay, so let's see. So I guess let's do those visual things just to make it pleasant. So when we set up the icon view, we want to do a couple of special things for desktop mode. Mode is mode A desktop. You know what? Let's add something like this. Look a little nicer. So we can even put that here. Bool is desktop. Mode A is mode A desktop. All right. So if it's a desktop, then we will set scroll bars enabled false, set fill with background color false, and is that all? Oh, I don't know how this will turn out. That actually looks really reasonable. Oh, we forgot about the frame though. Icon view set frame thickness 0, I guess, or maybe we can even do frame shape, graphics, frame shape no frame. What do you think about that? See, frame is gone. Beautiful. All right, so now the remaining weirdness is that they are, we're showing the root directory, and that's a bit weird. And if you double click on them, then it actually dies, which is concerning, but something we can probably fix. So let's see, let's start by setting it to the desktop directory instead. How was that even working before? What were we doing? We were creating, I guess, creating the file system model ourselves in the main function, or the delegate for the main function. Here, create with initial location, right. Run in desktop mode. Okay, so can get rid of this and that, and you know what, I'll just do this for now. Just get rid of that warning, and then we want to send him somewhere. I guess directory view could figure that out. We have the location here, although this is being voided out, so maybe we don't need it. Can we just figure this out for ourselves? Desktop directory. Yeah, I'm thinking we'll just do this ourselves in directory view. It's not such a big deal. When we do this setup model. Oopsie doopsie. Here we go. So m model set root path desktop directory. Of course, we need to grab libcore standard paths for that. Okay, touch desktop. Oh. And bar, and Vaz, and that flash is pretty harsh. What the actual heck? Moo. Why doesn't it flash when I add directories? Loop. Okay. I don't know what's up with that flashing. But let's just ignore that, because right now we just care about getting architecture into place. We can definitely leave little glitches like that for later. So you know what? Let's put something in here. So we'll put like test tier 1, test tier 2, something like that, just so that there is something showing up. All right, and if we double click, then we crash in model did update. Model did update, because for each view implementation it will tries to dereference all the views. So this actually needs to be a little bit smarter. We'll just write this in a generic way here, I think, even if we know that we always have the icon view. It's just, since these are ref putters anyway. Okay, so click, still dies. Now we are in handle activation. All right. Handle activation. In which case we fire on launch, I guess. Who sets that up? On launch. Oh wait, is it just that it's null? No, we null check it. Okay, so wait, what are we doing then? I guess we're crashing here, so let's see where that is. Line 151. Oh, right here, duh. We have a few more of these pointer verifications. So if m template view, if m icon view, and I wonder if we could probably just like search for something like this. Okay, so that was not dereferenced directly anywhere. Columns view. Okay, so that's pretty good. Just that one thing with the selection clearing. Okay, so now if I double click on it, then it actually enters the directory. So we don't actually want that to happen though. So when we do an activation, which is when you double click on an item, or if you select something and then press enter, that's also an activation. But we don't want to do anything for directories in desktop mode, which I guess is this code path right here. Or in fact, we do want to do something in desktop mode. We want to open it in the file manager. So if is desktop, then do we have like launcher stuff here? Could we just launcher our way? Desktop, launcher, open, path. Could it be this easy? Could it be this easy to get this working? Wouldn't that be awesome? That opened a browser. And we tried to open http://. So definitely not what I had in mind. I guess path. Oh, wait. This thing takes a URL. Right. I need to make a URL create with file protocol. Right. Forgot about that. It is a bit weird that opening a local path would do that. To open http:// in the browser seems like a bug. Anyway, now you can open these like that. That's pretty awesome. Of course, we've lost the context menu and everything, but at least we can launch those. And let's see, if we go to the desktop and we make a foo.md, can we open that? No, we cannot. That's not good. Let's work out why. Foo, all right, so the message box could not open, right? So I guess the thing is we don't have an on-launch callback to delegate to. Maybe we should just have an on-launch callback, actually. Or I don't know. Should directory view just take care of this internally, maybe? It seems kind of reasonable. What does on-launch do outside of here? In main, just looks at the launcher details and... Wait, couldn't all of this just be in directory view? Okay, so this is actually invoked like this. Oh, that's kind of gross. Okay. This is kind of a misuse of the hooks. Like, these are not meant to be invoked or chained like this, but it's not the end of the world. It's just a little bit bad factoring. Oh, am I zoomed in enough? Let's zoom in a little bit more. So Alright, so this functionality right here, we could move into directory view. So directory view, and we'll call it launch maybe. So instead of having on launch, we'll just have void launch. Something like that. And the implementation here that used to be a hook callback moves into directory view. So like this, void directory view launcher handler, I guess, and URL. Or what are we calling that thing? Oh, it was not even doing anything with it. Okay. And then we need access to the POSIX spawn, and also to disown, and to the selected file paths. So let's see about that. That's a, let's just yoink this first. Goodbye. And then we have to fix up those guys, but now they can just call launch and launch. And then selected file paths is a lambda somewhere right here. Oh wait, do we have two versions of that? Okay, so here's this one. Maybe we'll just do this for now. So return directory view selected file paths, and we will yoink that, put that into here. The file paths, and I am directory view, so you don't gotta ask. And then wait, current view. Oh, that's a non-const function. That's a bit weird. I feel like we should have a const variant of that. So that's cool, and then we will also add this API. So that's selected file paths. And then we can call that from there, call it from here. Everything lines up nicely. And do we use this in a lot of places, I wonder? You know what, let's just get rid of that goofy thing and type it out everywhere. So much explicit type action. This one looks a little sketchy, but all right. Okay, now we have some red down here. On launch, right, so you disappeared, and oops, then you can just call launch, and right. Okay, so will that just work then? Yes, that worked. Editing Markdown is cool. All right, that's awesome. Okay, so I think we have enough functionality here that I'm gonna do a commit, and then we'll like continue working on this. But I don't want to have too much stuff in every commit, so we'll like start the process like this. Start moving the desktop mode towards, or shift desktop. use directory view for both windowed and desktop mode. This patch begins the process of converting FileManager's desktop mode to using the directory view class. This will allow us to share most of the code between two different runtime modes of FileManager. We lose a bit of functionality in this patch, but we'll bring it back. All right. So let's see. I guess one thing is that we should bring back is the context menu to get display settings and stuff like that. So it's something that we just if zeroed out. If 0, yeah, right here. So we have a desktop view context menu, but we don't show it. So let's see, does this thing have such a thing on context menu request? Yes, that exists, okay. But the signature is a bit different. So this includes the abstract view. So this thing will give you the specific view that's currently active in directory view. I'm not sure if that's actually used though. Let's take a look at that. Directory view. So you see we passed the icon view here. But does anybody actually need that information? On context menu request. Yeah, see this guy, he just drops it. So I think we can probably just not care. That's a really good standalone change actually. Maybe we should see if we can do both. So on drop, same here, we don't care about the view. That's really nice. So let's get rid of that. On drop, get rid of the view. Get rid of that. Okay. On selection change. Probably that's using the view. Let's take a look. Yeah, we are using the view here. Right, because the selection is not synchronized between the different view representations. That's a bug. We should find a way to synchronize that, but that's outside of the scope of what we're doing right now. Okay, so let's see. So it just says empty menu pop-up. Let's try to pop something up then. On context. So what are we trying to do here? This is windowed mode and desktop mode. Do we have a valid index or what's the deal? Context menu request. What is the index that we are asked to contextualize? That's an invalid index. So desktop view context menu. Oh, but it's literally empty, right? So we're just making a menu and then not putting anything in it. So this would be a good time to put some stuff in it. So we can leave those out for now. And these guys we should be able to put in though. So let's see. The root path. Okay, so how do we get that? We have a directory view. Do we have a path? Yes, we do. And on 171, I'm missing a paren. Fascinating. Okay, and that works, although this looks weird because it's not showing the name here. What's up with that? But it's opened the right directory, which is curious. Display settings works. All right, so wait, what happens if you do this? FM home and on desktop. Okay, so something is goofing up here. But this doesn't feel specific to what we're doing right now. If you open it that way, it works. All right, well, this is a good standalone change, so let's do this. First, we change the API for those hooks to not include the view. So no, no, yes, and yes. FileManager. Don't pass directory view subview to hooks that don't care. Yeah. Okay, and then FileManager bring back partially bring back the desktop context menu. Okay. So these actions, they used to be lambdas that we had here, right? Or we just set them up here. But I think, as I was saying, we should move those actions into directory view. So here, McDear action, for example. We'll just take that and put it into directory view. So directory view, McDear action. You know what? Let's do it this way. Set up actions, and we'll have an M McDear action. GUI message box. We'll probably need input box. We need lexical path. Okay, and then directory view needs to call some kind of setup actions thing, which we'll put here, setup actions. All right. And of course we need McDear action. So the window is no longer nearby on the stack, so we can just get it this way. The directory view, that's us. And again, the window, we just find it this way. And refresh tree view, that one is a little bit, Oops. Also, I don't like calling using Erno like this, because like we're calling window here, which I think is not going to clobber Erno, but using Erno like this is not particularly nice. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Erno is such a mess of a thing. Now what do we have here? This is refresh tree view. That's calling out to some thing. So the tree view it's refreshing is the thing on the left hand side here, this view. So when you make a new directory, we have to refresh this view. But let's see what happens if we make a directory foo. Okay, so it did refresh and it actually collapsed, which is not super great, but really nothing we can do about that right now because we don't have the invalidation techniques available to us just yet. but it did refresh. So what if we don't do that though? Because I think we'll still refresh anyway. I think it will refresh anyway just because the file system model notices, because it puts a file system watch on the directory anyway, so we'll notice that something changed and refresh itself. So let's see. So let's expose the McDear action like this so that you can grab it. McDear action, something like that. And then McDear action, we can just fetch it like this, directory view dot McDear action. Okay, and then we got a bunch of red down here. Okay. Oh, and then, oh, that's interesting. So the action like turns itself on and off depending on if the directory that we're currently in is writable or not. So this should really be done in directory view as well. So when we do a path change, we should update the enabled state of the action. Let's just see what these other red things are. Okay, so they're more like this and this. Okay, so just adding it to context menus. But action enabled state, if we do it here, then it's not gonna, the action is not gonna update when we switch the desktop to a different place, which we're not gonna do anyway, but even so, I think it would be better factoring to put this into directory view. So it's doing an access syscall here. I guess we can just move that into whoever fires this hook and pass that information along. So can write in new path, maybe? Can write in path. Okay, yeah, that was the name. I almost had it right. So let's just grab that from elsewhere. Let's see, and then wherever we do on path change, that's here. So can write in path is like this. Okay, and then this action, we'll just update that ourselves. So McDear action set enable, can write in path, and then we pass this information to our client. Something like that. Okay, so new directory. Hello. That's cool. And then let's see here. So new directory is enabled here in my home directory. That makes sense. Let's go to /bin. It's disabled. We go home again. It's enabled. Okay, very good. So that's just moving the create directory action to directory view. Move create new directory action into directory view. Yeah, this makes it available in both desktop and windowed mode. Cool. So what was the other thing that we still if zeroed out? Touch action. Okay, let's do that one too. So same basic idea. Touch action. We'll expose it in the same way. Oops, I almost returned the wrong action. Alright, and here, and touch action is it's literally this. Bloop. And I think we can get rid of the refresh here as well. And I don't know why it's using lowercase assert everywhere. That's so weird. I should stop doing that. And more of those no things that I don't like. Okay, and then window, directory view is me. All right, I think that's basically that. And then touch action becomes directory view, touch action. And again with the enabled state right here is also dependent on can write and path, which we, as you recall, compute in directory view when we fire the onPath change hook. So since the action is here, we'll manage that from here as well. Okay, I made a Dumbo somewhere. 290 was it? 298. Oh, right there. Okay. All right, so can we create a new file? Yep, it worked. All right, and can we create a new file here? That totally works too. And can I do it in /etc? I can't. Very good. New file does not work. Control-Shift-F. Nope. That's very good. And if we go home, new directory, yep. Very, very good. Okay, so let's see. File manager. Move, create new file. Action into directory view. This makes it available in both desktop and windowed modes. Cool. So from now on, it's basically just cruising forward here, moving more functionality from the run in windowed mode function into directory view and you know, implementing it as actions and then exposing those actions here in the directory view when used in desktop mode as well. But you get the basic idea. So I think I'm gonna end the video here because this is some nice progress for today. So if you made it this far, then I thank you for watching, for hanging out, and I hope you saw something interesting. I think this type of work is very satisfying because it moves us forward and makes this so much nicer to work on. It's something I've been neglecting for a long time, but I'm glad that I'm finally engaging with it and like actually putting some effort into cleaning things up and making it more palatable. So I'm glad we could make a video about that. So anyway, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you next time.